accordance with the state law, the law of Ohio. The time of death was 10:29 a.m. I'm now going to turn it over to the floor reporters and ask them to share their observations with you. We're going to start with Tom Beyerlein of the Dayton Daily.
Good morning. The television set, the closed circuit television set in the witness rooms came on at 10:03, and the inmate was lying on his back, mostly with his eyes closed and his arms outstretched, as prison staff in white smocks and blue rubber gloves proceeded to insert the intravenous lines in his arms. The inmate had on the sort of the standard corrections outfit of a white shirt, short sleeves, blue pants with a red stripe down each leg, and black and white shoes. He had a tattoo on his inner left arm. His head was shaved. He had what appeared to be a sort of a stubbly beard and mustache, goatee sort of arrangement. They continued to insert the needles and tape his arms until 10:12, at which time the staff moved away from the inmate. And at 10:13, he was taken off of the bed in the preparation room and led into the execution chamber. He glanced at the witnesses, his witnesses first. There were 4 witnesses in the left-hand side of the execution chamber as you're facing the table. And those were his witnesses. He glanced at them, lay on the gurney. He then gave a longer look at the victim witnesses, who were Charles and Nancy Serafino, and another lady whose name is in your materials. There were numerous corrections officers attending to him at that point, inserting the intravenous lines. There was another standing at his head, and the warden, Philip Kearns, was also near his head. He was strapped down to the gurney. He appeared relaxed. Again, he looked over toward Chucky Serafino. On his side, his witness's side, his family held hands, and occasionally there was sobbing that was audible. There were no words spoken throughout the entire execution process, either by the victim or the inmates' witnesses that I could hear. They watched attentively. There was a degree of emotion, some sobbing, some use of tissues, blowing noses, daubing eyes, and so forth. On his family side, the Serafino family appeared to be quite composed as I watched. The lines were inserted in his arms on the gurney after the shunts had already been inserted in the other room at 10:15. At 10:16, he was given the opportunity to make a statement, and I was unable to catch all of the statement, and I believe that's going to be presented to us, a typed version of it. But I did hear him say, Charles and Nancy Serafino and all your loved ones, to Charles and Nancy Serafino, and all your loved ones, for all the pain that I've caused you. It's my earnest prayer that God grant you peace and healing. I'm sorry. I know that's a little word, but it's true. He made some other statements, and then he said, God is so good, even lying here, I can say I'm so blessed. At 10:19, he closed his eyes. His chest heaved about 3 times. At that point, his family, there was audible sobbing by his family and the witnesses there. At 10:20, the warden approached him, grabbed his shoulder, shook him, and called his name. He had no response from the inmate. He motioned with his arm. Another staff member came to the table and checked the intravenous lines and moved away. The minutes ticked by from there, and there was no further movement by the inmate. His forehead and the top of his head appeared to me to take on a slightly purplish cast as the moments ticked by. And at 10:27, the curtain was drawn. Again, the family was crying at that time, his family. It was reopened at 10:29, and the warden said time of death is 10:29.